We're going to talk about a tale about how being transported into cyberspace can really test your gaming skills. Now, this is a book. It's called No Entry, and it was written by accident by Rob Cowley, who is with us in the studio this afternoon. And we're all intrigued as to how you can do this by accident, Rob.
And it is by accident. I'm a dyslexic maths teacher, not an author. But my grandson Ryan, his reading took off when he was 6, going on 7. But he was still on the reading schemes in school, and he was a bit bored. So Grandad and grandson sat down and decided to write a story. And that's all we did. It was a lovely Grandad thing to do. We sat there each week and we wrote a page. And then it got out of hand and became about 12,000 words. I even had writer's block, which I'm very proud of. And then woke up and figured out how to finish the story. And that was it, to be honest. That was just a really nice story. It was done. We had a really nice time. A few people read it and encouraged me to try and do something with it. But it needed illustrating, which is something I couldn't do. So it just sat there for a while. And then my lovely wife, Mercy, passed it on to a friend of hers who has a daughter called Carmen, who has Asperger's. And she loves to read and she loves to draw. And so when she started to draw some pictures, they were just phenomenal. And we got together and decided to do this as a joint venture to raise money for Autism in Man and try and support Asperger's and autism on man. And I'm absolutely chuffed to bits that I'm now a published author. Rather than a retired deputy head, I'm now a published author.
And it's a wonderful book, I have to say. We've got a copy here, which we are going to give away a copy shortly. But you mentioned Carmen having illustrated this. And the thing that really grabs me when you look through it is not just how accomplished the illustrations are, but the expressions that she manages to get across in the characters. And that in itself is very interesting, isn't it?
It is, because Asperger's is one of those things where understanding social interactions and emotions, a good example for those who love Big Bang Theory would be Sheldon. Mm-hmm. Sheldon can't understand all sorts of different interactions with people. And that's an Asperger's characteristic, that is taking things very literally. And so for Carmen, who's 13, who struggles with just day-to-day things, to see all her emotions come out through her pictures is just phenomenal. And that's why it had to become a book. So from there, with all those sort of encouragements, the Arts Council got behind it, and I was delighted with that. So they've sponsored the book, and then it just kind of took off on its own, and other people have got involved. There's a launch this Saturday at the Family Library, and I have to say that Laura and Sue at the Family Library become my publicists, I think. They're promoting me like mad, and it'll be a lovely event on Saturday, 2 to 3 o'clock at the Family Library.
And it's just so lovely to talk to you on what is International Men's Day, which is celebrating positive role models. And there's no better example than that in a family environment, I guess, than what you've done with your grandson.
Yeah, it's lovely. And Ryan has really contributed to the story. You know, we'd sit there, we'd write a bit. We'd talk about the next character and what they were going to do he gets dragged into his favourite computer game along with his younger brother Nathan. And they have to help the little folk who are there defeat Christopher Chaos, who is causing all sorts of problems in the game. And so they have all that adventure, and then of course they have to find their way back out of the game and home. So the whole thing kind of, it's a nice story. There's a little bit of maths underneath it, just for interest, because I'm a maths teacher. But anyone knows chaos theory, and Lord Bodmas is one of the good guys, will know what that stands for as well.
And tell us what Ryan thought of it when he actually saw the finished article then.
He was absolutely blown away. I mean, he'd obviously seen the sort of rough copies that had just been sitting around. But then when we actually had the production of the book, which was 2 weeks ago, he took several away to give to his friends. He was very proud of it, which he should be.
It's a beautiful thing.
It really is. And great in the run-up to Christmas. A wonderful local present to give to somebody. But we have got a copy to give away, which you'll sign for us, if that's okay, Rob.
That's not a problem.
I'm just kind of telling you what to do there.
In fact, in future, finding an unsigned copy might be worth a lot.
But we wanted to come up with a suitable question. What sort of question do you think works for this then?
I think if anyone can remember what I've just said about the villain of the tale.
Okay.
Who's the baddie in the book?
What is the baddie in No Entry called? 166 177. Email studio@manxradio.com, and in a few minutes we will give a copy away.
And a little clue, we were hearing, of course, how Mr. Cowley, maths teacher, he has included a little bit of a maths reference in the name of the villain there. So there's a little clue for you.
Is it decimal point?
The dastardly decimal point. No, it's not, Beth. Nice try, though.
Maybe for the sequel.
Yeah.